What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Scarlet and Great here on YouTube. My name is Shane Larson, also known as the Game Time Guru, or as some of you guys here on the platform have called me, the Boise Buckeye. I'm happy to be back at it with you guys. It's been a minute. We're trying to get some content cranked up here on the channel, just to be a little bit more consistent with it as we're getting through the rest of the spring, as we lead up to the kickoff of this season. And you'll see Corey, Johnny, and myself coming on here more consistently. And we would love to know what you guys as Buckeyes fans want to hear. But in the meantime, if you could do us a favor, if you're a Buckeye nut and you're excited for the spring game, just like we are, hit that follow button. Help us grow this channel and get it out to the rest of Buckeye Nation. We'll be coming at you with more and more content, but we really want to know what you guys want to hear, right? What are the Buckeyes fans want to hear as far as updates, opinions, and so forth? Let's get the chat going. We love the comments, right? We love when people get in the comments and start talking themselves as well and giving their opinions. That's what this is for. This is a show made by Buckeyes fans for Buckeyes fans, and it's really just a community for us to sit here and chat with you guys. Listen, what should we be expecting during the spring game on April 13th that's coming up? That's what we're going to be talking about today. I want to take a look at this. Obviously you heard from Corey talking about the Lachlan hire and what we're going to be expecting there as we bring some toughness to the running back room as far as the coaching perspective is concerned. But I really want to talk about the three main storylines. First and foremost, Chip Kelly, right? We're talking about Chip Kelly. I feel like that's kind of an underrated discussion this year. Like, we're not really talking as much about it as we should be. And maybe it's because his tenure at UCLA didn't necessarily go as planned, but I feel truly we haven't talked about it enough. This is the perfect fit for him, right? I truly feel that having him here as the offensive mastermind is going to do wonders for this entire program. I don't even know. I think it's a storyline that not just for the spring game, but across all of college football, it can shift the entire landscape of the Big Ten. It can shift the landscape of the college football playoff with what he's capable of doing in this offense with the personnel that he already has in place with the Buckeyes. So I'm excited to see this offense, although we'll see how it's installed and see if they can even get anything running off of that offensive structure. But the big storyline, and we're going to talk about the other two now, is the QB room. So let's take a look at the QB room that we currently have. I mean, we got Will Howard, Legan Keenholz, Devin Brown, and Aaron Nolan. So let's take a look. And I apologize for my voice as well. I was coaching in a basketball tournament this weekend. And as a coach, sometimes my voice gets going and I lose my voice after yelling so much. Sometimes it's good yelling, sometimes it's bad. Here's what I'm really interested in seeing. Will Howard coming over. We've talked about him a couple months back when, he did his transfer. He played at Kansas State. He's basically a McCord 2.0, but he's got legs, and he's not afraid to use them. Why does that work to his benefit? Well, obviously we're in an offense that's going to be a spread offense that might require the quarterback to use his legs. That being said, that's why I think this is still up in the air, because he's not familiar with this system. None of them currently are, right? None of these guys have played under this particular scheme specifically. Howard's got the most experience at this level of football, so that gives him an upper hand. However, Keenholz and Brown have the experience inside of the locker room, inside of this program. They understand the expectations. They understand what's at stake here with the game, with the team up north. They understand all of that, the culture and everything. So I would not expect either one of those guys to just back down and not compete and have a legitimate shot at the QB1 position. In fact, Brown in this offense might actually get to utilize all of his strengths because his legs will be a vital piece to it, right? And I'm curious to see in the spring game if anybody separates themselves from the other as far as how comfortable they are on the field, because I truly feel it's going to be a battle. If you think it's going to be a battle, let us know who you think is going to get this starting spot, or who do you think should be the number one and number two quarterbacks in this race for the spring game. Legitimately, I am excited about this. You look at their skill sets. They're all, each one of them has their strengths from throwing the ball. But let me tell you something. In this spread type of offense, it's even better than what we had before, because if you're just a capable, a semi-competent passer with this type of offensive structure, you can let the ball fly. Your receiver should be open in space. And this is a whole nother discussion you could have. This wide receiver room could be better than it was last year. I mean, this might be our best one, and no one's even talking about it with just who's coming back, who's in that race. We have some of the best wide receivers. And when you're in this structure with this talent and the skill positions that we have, it allows these receivers to get out in space in single coverages and get out there and move. So if you can just throw a decent pass, you can get these guys in one-on-one coverages and in space. And so you're going to be able, it's not going to be necessarily the passing that's going to set them apart. I really feel it's going to be their understanding of reading the defensive line with this spread offense and then using their legs effectively and, making sure that they understand when and where to use those, right? So that's why I don't think it's going to be just one person's got the front run right now. Like Will Howard's coming in, but he's got to earn his keep, and I think Devin and Lincoln are going to have something to say with that. And then obviously Aaron Nolan, athletic as they get, one of the best arms I've seen. Who's to say that he doesn't have a shot as well? Keep an eye on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. The other piece to this, though, that I'm excited for in the storyline I want to see is listen, Dallin Hayden, he's in this running back room. We obviously see Judkins coming over. Travion decides he's staying, and Dallin stays, right? Everyone was wondering what was going to happen with Dallin Hayden. What could we do with that? Because we wanted to see more reps. A lot of people wanted to see him get the ball more. He's a very, very effective runner, and he needed to work on his pass blocking, but he was very effective. We even talked to him on the show. We're big fans of his. I was able to interview him here on the show. Dallin Hayden, Travion Henderson, and Judkins are in here, okay? The reason I'm so excited about this and why this is something I cannot wait for April 13th is just these are the types of running backs that run well in that system, right? Like they remind me, like Judkins reminds me of a J.K. Dobbins style of runner. And you just get him downhill, make one read, and then cut upfield. Huge. And when you start getting the defense on their heels, and sometimes these guys, these defenders, you spread them out, they're only going to have 4 linemen sometimes at the line of scrimmage, just lining up. It's a hat on hat. You get them in space. These running backs, all they need is a little bit of space, a little crease. Hayden, I feel, can be very successful in this offensive structure as well. Same with Henderson, as we already know. But Judkins and Hayden are who I think can really, really benefit from this scheme, right? And I feel like we're going to get a grasp on how good they really are. This running back room, along with the wide receiver room and the quarterbacks that are out here, guys, I'm really excited for this. On the offensive side of the ball, we're in for a treat. I know we say that every single year, but I really feel like we are. If we can put this together and these guys can really buy into the system, it's going to be a banger. I just really want to see what changes we make on that spread offense, implementing the system in here. I know that Ryan Day we obviously know that we've already had more of a speed offense anyway, but literally that's the type of offense we need. We complained about 2 things last year: quarterback play and offensive linemen, right? The offensive line was they underperformed. They were very underwhelming all of last season. The spread offense, yes, you have to still block, but it allows you to have an advantage if you can get things rolling in one possession. Just one first down is all it takes, and then it's just rolling, right? So the offensive line is not as much of a risk for the team. And since we have skills we're loaded at running back, wide receiver, and quarterback, whoever's there is going to do a great job. We're really going to be able to neutralize the weaknesses of the offensive line, at least in my opinion. So again, stoked to see the spread offense and see what Chip Kelly's got in store for the rest of us. Stoked to see the quarterbacks and see if anyone's separating themselves from the other, who's more comfortable out on the field doing that type of stuff. Everyone looks great when they're just doing, routes and they're throwing to nobody, like no one's defending them or anything. Let's see what happens when they're in a real field. They feel the culture at Ohio State. They feel that spring game culture. They feel the pressure. Let's see what happens. So running backs, wide receivers, quarterbacks, man, we're in for a treat. Let me know below who your favorite or what your favorite storyline is that you're looking forward to at the spring game. I know Corey's planning on recording one later this week, talking a little bit more about the spring game as we get ramped up for April 13th. Appreciate you guys. Hit us with that follow button. Again, we're going to be coming to you with more and more content, but we would love to hear what you guys want to talk about. My name is Shane Larson, the Boise Buckeye. God bless and go Bucs.